Good evening. On Thursday, President Trump gave Iran an ultimatum, 10 to 15 days, maximum, make a deal on your nuclear program. Or else. And by or else, he means war. Two American aircraft carriers are now in the Middle East, the USS Abraham Lincoln and the USS Gerald R. Ford, the most advanced warship on Earth, which passed through the Strait of Gibraltar Friday morning. Hundreds of fighter jets, submarines, destroyers, the largest American military buildup in the region since the 2003 invasion of Iraq. Poland is evacuating its citizens from Iran. Germany is pulling non-essential personnel from Iraq. And Trump says bad things will happen if Iran doesn't make a deal. Tonight, I'm going to explain what Trump wants, why this deadline matters, and why we might be days away from a war that could reshape the Middle East. If you want coverage that doesn't ignore the stakes, that tells you what war actually means, subscribe to Capital Prime right now. Hit that bell, because this is as serious as it gets. Let's begin. Thursday, February 19th. Trump hosts the inaugural meeting of his Board of Peace in Washington. And in the middle of a speech about Gaza reconstruction and Middle East stability, he delivers a warning to Iran. They cannot continue to threaten the stability of the entire region, and they must make a deal. Or if that doesn't happen, maybe you can understand if it doesn't happen, but bad things will happen if it doesn't, Trump said. Reporters asked, what does bad things mean? Trump refused to elaborate. I'm not going to talk to you about that. Later, aboard Air Force One, he was more specific about the timeline. We're either going to get a deal or it's going to be unfortunate for them. 10, 15 days, pretty much maximum. 10 to 15 days from Thursday, that's a deadline of early March. That's when Trump decides deal or strikes. Friday morning, at a White House breakfast with governors, Trump was asked directly, are you considering limited military strikes against Iran? His answer, I guess I can say I am considering that. Not maybe, not we're exploring options. I am considering that. Let me explain what Trump has moved into position. The USS Abraham Lincoln arrived in the Arabian Sea in late January. A nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, 90 aircraft, 5,000 sailors, destroyers, cruisers, support ships, already conducting daily sorties, flight operations just south of Iran's coast. Friday morning, the USS Gerald R. Ford crossed the Strait of Gibraltar into the Mediterranean. The world's largest warship, the most technologically advanced aircraft carrier ever built. It will join the Lincoln within days. Two carriers. That gives the United States the capability to conduct several hundred strike sorties per day, precision bombing, cruise missiles, stealth fighters. Beyond the carriers, F-35 stealth jets repositioned from Spain and the UK to bases closer to Iran. Submarines, refueling tankers, missile defense systems, surveillance aircraft. The Pentagon has been moving assets into position for weeks. A senior official told reporters Wednesday, the full forces needed to carry out potential military action are expected to be in place by mid-March. That aligns with Trump's 10 to 15 day deadline. And it's not just the US. Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk told Polish citizens to leave Iran immediately. Within a few hours, he said, the possibility of evacuation will be out of the question. Germany moved personnel out of a base in northern Iraq because of the current situation. These are allies preparing for American strikes and for Iranian retaliation. So what does Trump actually want from Iran? Three things, and they're non-negotiable. First, stop enriching uranium completely. Dismantle the nuclear program. Iran says its program is for peaceful energy. Trump and Israel say it's a bomb program, and they want it gone. Second, dismantle the ballistic missile program. Iran has missiles that can reach Israel, Saudi Arabia, and American bases across the Middle East. Trump calls them the delivery vehicle for a future nuclear warhead. He wants them destroyed. Third, end the January massacres. In January 2026, Iran's government killed thousands of protesters. Estimates range from 3,000 per the regime's own admission to 20,000 according to human rights groups. Trump is demanding an end to martial law internet blackouts and the release of tens of thousands of political prisoners. Iran's response, they'll talk about the nuclear program. But missiles and internal repression are off the table. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said Friday, "We have not offered any suspension and the U.S. side has not asked for zero enrichment." Wait, Trump says he's demanding zero enrichment. Iran's foreign minister says the U.S. hasn't asked for that. Someone is lying or someone is negotiating in bad faith. Here's what we know. Geneva talks this week made some progress, according to the White House. But Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt admitted Friday we're still very far apart on some issues, and Trump's deadline is ticking 10 to 15 days. That's what Trump gave Iran, a deadline to dismantle its nuclear program, destroy its missiles, and stop killing protesters. 2 American aircraft carriers are now in the region. Poland is evacuating citizens. Germany is pulling personnel from Iraq. And Trump says, "I am considering limited strikes." Here's what you need to understand. This isn't a bluff. The military is in position. The timeline is set. And Trump has shown in Syria, in Iraq, with Soleimani, that he will order strikes. But Iran's foreign minister says they're prepared for diplomacy and prepared for war. Supreme Leader Khamenei posted an AI image of the USS Ford at the bottom of the ocean. "More dangerous than that warship," he wrote, "is the weapon that can send it to the bottom of the sea." So we're at the edge. 10 to 15 days. Deal or war. Subscribe to Capital Prime. Because when that deadline hits, when Trump makes his decision, we'll be covering every development. This is Capital Prime. Good night.